Hello. So I realize we haven't really touched a whole lot on how to customize some of your payment settings and adjust some of the receipts and just reminders, things like that. So I wanted to do a deep dive into your payment settings and give you guys kind of an idea of where everything is, when we should be adjusting them, and what some of this stuff means. And then there's a lot here that just doesn't necessarily need to be filled out. So we're just going to do a deep dive of everything kind of in this payments area, as far as settings, automated emails, things like that. So you know exactly what everything does, where it goes, when to hook it up, etc. So receipts are number one. So automatic sales receipts are usually always going to be turned on, especially if you're someone in the online space that's selling B2B, because a lot of these people are going to want receipts for tax write-off purposes, or just for their bookkeeping in general. So in the receipts area, this is going to allow you to customize exactly what your receipts are saying, looking like, etc. I generally just leave these alone. So you can do a receipt from TFF if you want to do business name, whatever that might be. So you have your prefix, start number, those are required. And then you have from name, from email, subject, email template. So here's where you can get a little more custom. From name, this is going to be your default business name, default business email as set up in your business profile under settings. This is not going to be under your custom My Staff. It's going to be whatever it's referred to in the business profile in your settings of your HighLevel account. So this in here is your email subject. This again is going to be the company name. So this is going to reference what is up here. From there, just says thank you for your recent purchase. You can add different URL. Sorry, you can add different custom values in here up in that area. And then you have the option to go ahead and do the default template. You can create your own receipt template in here and do it that way. I just use the default. There's nothing wrong with it. And then you can always add your notes and terms as well. Thank you so much for supporting us with your purchase. Okay. And then go ahead and save. That's where you just kind of add some different things. You can change the formatting. I think we all know how to change formatting at this point, so I'm not going to show you how to do that. Oh, I guess we've already generated some receipts in this brand new account. Greater than 1007. Okay, so when it says that, you don't use the number it's telling you. It has to be greater than, right? Taxes. So for us, we don't include tax rates inside of our purchases at all. If you're selling physical products, you're definitely going to want to do this. You would just select yes, and then you can set up your different tax rates here. I'm going to go ahead and say no. You can also enable automatic taxes. This says you have checked out to agree to the terms of use, and it will automatically calculate based on the customer's address or business address. So whatever they're putting in as their address, it will automatically calculate taxes. You must have your address field inside of your form or order form for this to happen. Without the address, they cannot calculate taxes automatically. You also have the option to set those up manually if you want, by filling in name, rate. I do recommend adding a description, and then these are optional. And you can just add those if you would like to go ahead and set up, a standard text across the board. All right, for notifications. So this is a bunch of different notifications that you can set up automatically. We do have abandoned cart emails now. You do have to enable them. Subject is just going to be complete your purchase. You can customize that by sending it right there. You can go ahead. I would prefer to have this after 10 minutes. Actually, let's do 15 to be safe, being honest. And then you can again select a custom template. If you want to look what the template looks like, you can always click there and preview. And then I do like to come in here. You don't necessarily have to use a custom email template, but definitely come in here and just do a little bit of editing. So go ahead and, make the buttons your brand color. So just, click a button, make that a brand color. You can update their fonts and kind of customize the text a little bit if you want, but it's super easy to do from there. Make sure you hit save at the end. Then we're going to go through a variety of different templates here. So you have your order confirmation email for stores. That's going to look something like this. And the setup of these is all going to be pretty much the same. So I do recommend just kind of coming through, looking at them, customizing them a little bit, and then just decide which ones you want to turn on, turn off. We don't even need this. That is used for shipping and products that are using shipping. Shipping and delivery. So this is going to be for people that are running e-com sites specifically or delivering any type of physical product to their people. You have the option to add different shipping zones. So I might want to say, hey, okay, United States, East Coast is going to be $3 or whatever it might be. So by selecting that, I have all of the states. I'm not literally going to select East Coast. I do know where that is, but I'm just kind of showing you, okay, we can kind of click those off. And then we're going to add a rate. Whoops. Edit. All this looks good. I think I skipped a setting. Nope, we're good. Okay. Then we'll go ahead and add a rate. So let's say our East Coast rate is going to be free. You can also do conditional pricing. So if it's over $50, they'll get free shipping. Go ahead and add. And you can say, hey, this is our East Coast rate. I can go ahead and add another zone. Let's say it's Canada, add. But this is just going to allow you to basically make your life a little bit easier by going in and adjusting your different shipping and what it costs to ship anywhere. Canada, $15. We'll just go ahead and add. So there you go. And you can see right here it says Canada. And then your rates. We have East Coast rate, but it's going to allow you to basically break everything down by what regions you are setting up. So let's go ahead. Oh, there it says United States East Coast. I was going to say, I couldn't find that for a minute. Okay, shipping origin. This is just showing, hey, this is what's going to be on your address label when you're shipping things out via HighLevel. This is what the return address is going to be. Subscription settings. So subscriptions are going to be specifically for recurring items. Think communities, memberships, low ticket offers, any type of month to month to month to month. This is where you're going to manage failed payment attempts. So you can see here, you can go ahead and delete these if you want. And you have the option to set it between 1, 3, 5, and 7 days after a failed payment. If all retries for a payment fail, cancel the subscription. Yes, we're going to turn that on. And then manage invoices for failed subscription payments. What this is going to do is that if we get through retry 1, 2, and 3 and it still fails, it's going to create an invoice and automatically send it to them to say, hey, you have a past due balance, we can charge your card. Processing charges. So this is kind of new. This just allows you basically to pass processing charges to customers. I know a lot of small businesses, especially local, are now doing this. So for example, if you wanted to set this up, you could go ahead and just say credit card processing fee. And let's say we get charged 2.7%. That's what it's going to be. And then we only want this to be for invoices, estimates, and payment links, and then save. You do have a little note here that it is on you to make sure you are following local, federal, state laws, etc. So just one little note there, but you can now pass those processing charges on to your customers if they're using cards, or credit cards specifically. Okay. And then payment link customization. So payment link is literally basically a shortcut to get people to pay you. It looks pretty much just like this. You can't do a ton of customization, but there is kind of a new option here where we can just go ahead and use the brand board, and then we can swap the colors if we want. Those are not our brand colors. I don't actually know where it came from. That's interesting. Hold on. Interesting. Yeah, okay. Well, that's weird. Heads up, it might come up with random colors for you because these are not our brand colors, but this one is, and so is that. So interesting. But we can go ahead and save. That just allows you to make it look a little better, a little more on brand when you're sending out payment links. Speaking of payment links, what the heck is a payment link? So again, payment link is going to show up like this. If you're someone who does sales calls and wants a really fast method of entry for people who are on these calls, this is probably your best bet. We just talked about in the contract video how to use public documents to get people onboarded really, really fast. We're going to do the same thing here. So if someone contacts us for a sales call and they say, hey, I want to go ahead and do a funnel build, I can go up here and be like, okay, I don't even think we have that set up because it's usually pretty custom. Let's say they come in, it's like, okay, I want a custom service. Or say, okay, it's gonna be $2,000. Da, 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 da. They say, okay, let's do it. All right. Well, we're just gonna go ahead and say, hey, I want to go ahead and require their phone number. Call to action is pay. Da 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 da. Everything there looks good, and it's in live mode. I can quite literally hit custom. Let's name this just so I know what it is later when I have to clean up the mess I'm making. Save. Okay, beautiful. We can go ahead and send it. All right, I can go ahead and send them this link directly, or I can type in my name, Kylie Robinson, and then it gives me this cute little custom link. You also have the option there, if you notice, to send directly to a contact. You can pick subject of the email, kind of what it looks like. And this is what it's going to look like when we check it out. Ta-da-da-da-da, ta-da! And you can say, hey, it's already pre-filled to their information. I don't have my phone number. I'm not going to fill out the rest of that phone number actually because it's probably going to be on the internet. Don't need that. And then just fill out basically however they want to pay, bing, bang, boom, you're done. So if you have any questions about kind of our payment settings and things like that, definitely let us know. If you are looking under some of these other options, like if we go to invoices here in settings, you'll see some other configurations as well. So make sure when you're setting up your account, you're just going through these different areas. It is going to have a number of different settings areas for different things like your invoices and estimates, documents, contracts, etc. And there are a fair amount of customer and team notifications, especially in your invoices and documents and contracts area, that you're also going to want to look at. And you can get in and customize at the very least to kind of your brand information. This logo always seems to be broken, so make sure you get in and update that. And if you have any questions, absolutely let us know. We're here to help.